have that much speed to actually cut their head off, but yeah, somebody could snap a neck.
In this photo is a camouflage booby trap discovered by a mountain biker on a popular trail along Lake Hodges. Good evening. I'm Steve Atkinson.
And I'm Kimberly Hunt. New at 6 o'clock, 10 News reporter Michael Chen shows how the trap was designed to do damage.
On the trails in the Escondido River Park, right along Lake Hodges.
A little bit of paradise right here.
Paradise tarnished. Minutes into Stephen Lennox's bike ride on Friday afternoon. He was taking photos that day, so he was going slower than normal and stopped when he saw the shadow on the ground.
It was a hard line all the way across here. And I looked up from there and then I saw the ivy.
But the ivy wasn't the only thing stretched across the trail.
As I got closer, then I saw the rusty wire.
In the photo he took, you can see intertwined with the ivy was barbed wire tied to a tree.
It was in there 3-4 loops. Somebody spent some time actually putting it together.
The barbed wire,
This wire right here,
pulled from an old fence and camouflaged with a nearby vine.
hide something being deceptive. Yeah, that's being cruel.
Lennox wrapped a ribbon
I was gonna mark this for the ranger.
to help rangers find the location.
So that wire crossed right at this level. For someone on a bike, that's chest area or even the neck area.
I don't think somebody's gonna have that much speed to actually cut their head off, but yeah, somebody could snap a neck.
A sudden concern along a trail popular with cyclists, hikers, and horseback riders. Rangers did not find any similar hazards on that trail, a hazard hidden and designed.
Somebody was looking to cause harm. It's not right.
This news story is an example of the sinister and loathsome method these monsters are going to in order to hide their treachery. The wire alone would have been very hard to see with years of weathering, making it blend perfectly with the colors of the path and shrubbery alongside. You can see the desperate need to supply parks with means to cut down these traps. You can also see the deliberate time they put into setting this deadly trap, weaving it with vines to disguise the wire and make it look like a natural bit of plant life. Diligently taking the time to loop it around the tree trunk more than 3 times to be sure it held fast when the innocent rider's soft neck is struck. You can also see how easy these domestic terrorists are able to create these abominable close-lining snares. They are all but impossible to prevent since they need not bring any of the materials with them, so nobody can see a person carrying a roll of barbed wire or anything suspicious looking as they enter the hiking trail. These vile cowards just use what's available along the way and wait until they are all alone and set up these evil booby traps. No way to spot them on the way to or returning from doing their despicable deeds. In the report, the man who took it down makes a point of explaining that he did what he could to remove it by hand, but couldn't take it all the way down. He was lucky others have been mangled trying to do the same. So he marked it with a ribbon to tell the ranger where to find it. Not show the ranger, but simply make a report and leave it at that. After looking deeper into the story, it shows that even though the ranger reacted immediately upon getting the report, it didn't reach him until hours later. And the location of the ribbon tied to the tree to mark the trap wasn't found until halfway through the second day after reporting, meaning the trap was still on the trail almost 2 full days from finding B4 being removed 48 hours later. How many passed by it in that time? How easy to pull tight if the villain saw its discovery? How many could have lost it all in those hours? And this is just one case of one time it was found, and people did what they could and thought was right to do. I doubt that would be solace or an excuse to a parent of a child or family member if they encountered it during that time. The man interviewed wasn't able to speak directly to the ranger, or he would have led him back to the scene, nor did he have any tools with him, having ridden to the trail on his bike with only his camera. He assumed the ranger would hear immediately and deploy immediately to tend with it, and remarked he wished he had driven, and now carries wire cutters in his vehicle and in his camera bag. They need to be available at every park and station. This is an example of people doing the right thing, and still 2 days passed before the danger was destroyed, fortunately with no victims in that time. Tragically, that is not the way it normally goes. He only lacked the tool to be heroic then and there, but you can be a hero right now and help save lives. Every little bit adds up and means everything to the life saved. If you learned that only a buck or two could literally save a life, or prevent a child from being horribly wounded, and for a fact stop a terrorist, what would you do? Hero.